Okay, great. Then we're all set then. Before we start and give the stage over to our entrepreneurs, I wanted to say a quick thank you to a few people. Without them, this program would not have been possible. So can we give a big round of applause to our teachers, Neeraj and Shweta? Neeraj and Shweta have been with our kiddos for 20 Saturdays. And all through our guest speakers, our field trips, the mentor visits, all the brainstorming, figuring out ideas, the WhatsApp group, I'm a part of it, and it's insane. A lot of love and emotions in this group. So a lot of credit goes to these two who are entrepreneurs themselves and have really put their heart and soul into the program. Other big thank you to Manan here. Big round of applause. Manan is an entrepreneur himself, and he took out the time to mentor our children, and I think that's a very big deal because we help the kids as teachers. Of course, the USA team sends some feedback, but for them to have a mock investor panel, and Manan is sitting there and pretending to be the investor who's going to ask them the tough questions, and at the same time being nurturing and guiding them with their ideas. He did a fantastic job. So thank you very much, Manan, and in an entrepreneur's life to give 2 Saturdays, 3 hours in class, and then with the Bangalore traffic, I don't know how many hours on top of that, is a lot of work. And YEA really is an effort to teach life skills to our children. So a lot of people tell us that how are you going to judge the ROI or success of this program? Is it the number of people who actually become entrepreneurs? And I said, while that is fantastic, and I'm sure our kids will make us proud in the future no matter what they do, the success is really based on building some life skills. So I think over these 20 Saturdays, people like Manan, Neeraj, so many others, our speakers, our field trip hosts, the school authorities, and the kids themselves, I think it's been a phenomenal journey. And now excited to see the end product. So we'll go over there, but quick introduction of the judges. We have Tanvi here, who's a senior person at Your Story and very passionate advocate of her story. So wonderful female representation on the panel. We have Rohit here, who heads Cloud9 Hospitals. Fantastic entrepreneurial story, and he was one of the hosts for our field trips, which the kids absolutely enjoyed. And then we have Ridul here, who's from SAFE, and an investor who looks at business plans all the time. So that whole finance thing was for him, but that was an easy one there. So thank you for being judges. And just a quick thing, we wanted to give you something that one of our alumni has made. He's on his second venture. Do you remember the kid you were judge at Delhi?
Yes.
Do you remember the 12-year-old who ordered an Uber for nannies?
Yeah.
So in addition to that, he felt he must do something as beautiful as handmade soaps with oils and angels and owls and some really cool stuff. So we always like to showcase our kids who are, and he's 13 now, so obviously I can't speak for all of you, but I was not even 10% as smart as he is at 13. So I think I see a lot of people nodding their heads. And now, fantastic, Neeraj, on to you. Why don't you introduce each entrepreneur as they come in?
All right.
Thank you.
First of all, thank you so much for being here. It's an honor for the two of us to actually be a part of this for the last 20 weeks. I'm not going to waste too much time because we have someone on a time budget per se. So we're going to start with our first team here. It's Pikanwa. I'm not going to talk too much about the product or the service. I'm just going to say
good afternoon. My name is Anubhav, this is Ruchit, and even Shravan is present in the audience. We are bringing out Pikanwa, a e-commerce platform for amateur artists to showcase their art to a variety of audience.
So what seems to be the issue here? The hospitality and the interior design industry are always in need of amazing art to decorate either their hotels or their clients' houses or etc. But the issue is that they can't find original art at affordable prices. So this is where we come. We basically give original art at affordable prices while making sure that the backstory and the personal touch of the art is not lost.
So the user journey. The user journey is the most important part of our company. If I am the customer, I can go on Pikanwa, look at different categories of art and find a particular art. If I am registered, the Pikanwa will be suggesting us different art depending upon our taste. And artists can also communicate with each other artists and collaborate on different projects and showcase their art.
So we basically have two teams. One is our main team, that is all the chief officers, Nish, Anubhav, Sharan, Pranav. Then we have two smaller teams, that are the technology and the social media team. So our website is a WordPress-based website. We've used WooCommerce for the e-commerce part. And as artists can collaborate on the website, we've used BuddyPress for the social media part. It's Cloudflare Protect. Our revenue model. So we basically provide the artists on our platform a large variety of customers. Whether, like I told you, it's the hospitality industry or the interior design. It could also be individual customers. And we take a commission out of every art that they sell.
So the competitors, there are a lot of competitors, but there's no one like us. We are selling art at an affordable price, and they are original and consistent. We have a lot of competitors in India, but we are unique. So the burn rate, the marketing and the transportation are the two main parts of our company. Marketing is heavily focused. We are focusing on both the customers and the artists because they are the key members of our company. And transportation will be used to expand to different cities. When we travel there, build teams and form our bases. We will be raising. We want to raise 11.5 lakhs. Our accelerator, the targeted group is for teenagers by teenagers accelerator from Aspen, Colorado, and they're helping us with marketing and legal advice. Thank you. We will be launching this month as our pilot launch, and we'll be using the next 2 months to develop our business, get user feedback, and help us grow.
So we'll be in Bangalore for a couple of months before we expand into other major cities like Delhi, Mumbai, Kolkata.
Thank you.
So I have one quick question. How are you trying to onboard artists to come and sell stuff? So one, you said marketing, but is there any other way you're looking at getting them on board?
The way we are looking to get them on board is mainly we are targeting high schoolers because what we saw is high schoolers have the huge potential for art and they want to keep focusing it somewhere. So we started targeting Instagram pages of these high schoolers and we got great response there. Other than that, our high school coordinator said she will give us contacts in other schools also. So we will be making presentations in those schools and getting on-spot registrations.
And apart from that, we are also contacting various art institutes. But if you go there, there are a lot of students coming there, and they have a bunch of art which they are not able to sell it or put it somewhere. So we have talked to 3 and put them in our business and asked them to give us particular paintings whenever we want, and we will be coordinating with them over time and hopefully getting more artists.
Great.
Guys, great job. Love the slides. Art is right there, so brilliant stuff. Why did you guys pick this? I saw the gaps and all of that. What's your interest in this?
So actually he had come out to my house and my mom, she's sitting at the end over there and she's a painter herself. So she paints and we were in Oman and over there was a huge club where 50 women came together, painted, they had exhibitions. But once we moved to India, we saw that there was a certain lack in the interest of unprofessional art or amateur art. So on our website, we want amateur artists to be shown as the same as professional artists. There are websites that you can buy paintings starting from 1 lakh, but we're not catering just to that. We're catering to lower cost. If there's a high school student in our school who wants to sell it for a couple of grand, then they should also have a platform and a variety of customers available to them.
One more question. So in the model, will you also have commissioned art, or is it art which is already available that people can buy off? What will you do?
So that completely depends on the artist. We are giving the artist the freedom to set the price. We will be taking a commission from that price. So we'll be taking a 10% from the standard artist, but that pricing changes when we go to institutions. Because what they are saying is we have set the price according to the bracket of the artist selling it. So we will be taking a lower percentage at a higher price.
And also, in terms of personalized art, as if you see, like if I want an art portrait of myself, we will be bringing that feature, but later on, because we see that there are a lot of competitors, and we have met some of the competitors who have helped us, who have actually given us feedback. and they are in the personalized art industries, but we're focusing on how to bring out art we have already made, people who have thought of an idea or the surrounding, and they have created an art and they want to sell that.
Great. I think it's a fantastic idea. Just one quick question. How many artists and how many potential customers will you speak to as part of this exercise?
So artists we speak to on a daily basis. You must have spoken to as of now more than 50 artists. But because on Instagram they keep messaging us, showing interest, and we tell them to register or fill out a form. So artist response has been great so far, and we also have artworks which are coming in. That's why we realized that they're not actually amateur artists, the artwork response part. Where it comes to potential customers, so we have spoken to a few of the giants in the hospitality industry, and they have encouraged us because what they are saying is, especially the hotel rooms and all, like not the lobbies, the room artwork, the budget they've allocated is pretty low, and to meet art over there, they're finding difficulty because as hotels are coming in, more and more are being built. So we have spoken to a few in that space. Interior designers we are yet to contact. So the player we've spoken to that is the Marriott chain. They have showed interest. We will be speaking to interior designers this week.
Thank you so much.
Next everyone here knows India is the diabetic capital of the world, right? So we have someone addressing that for the first time. Everyone, please welcome Aditya.
Today, my name is Aditya and today I'm going to be talking about my idea, the diabetic advisor. So, the year was 2009, during which my brother was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes. And I wanted to help him, but I didn't know how to. So that was just 5. And to me, my brother was my hero. YEA has been a silver lining to my dark cloud, making me realize that it would actually make a difference. So I thought, what was our issue? Why is everyone seeing their loved ones suffer? Then I realized that India is a diabetes capital of the world, and our diabetic patients don't have the facility in organized world of information or centralized and virtual marketplace. So, just to give you a bit on the stats, 415 million people have diabetes globally, and India accounts for 69.1 million people. And my brother belongs to a subset of 0.6 million people who have type 1 diabetes. So all of this ended up with one idea, the diabetic advisor. So I wanted to create a virtual marketplace that offers information to enable better care and management of diabetes. So am I alone in this field? Well, not really. My competition happens to be websites such as Diabetic Living Online and Diabetes Self Management, and also self-professed yoga trainers and fitness coaches. So what differentiates me from that? Well, it's my business model, freemium. So I'll be offering comprehensive free information such as recipes and trivia, free, and subscription will be actually my differentiator, such as secure digital medical history, customized diet plans, chatting with experts and free and personalized notifications. So what is my financial side? My projected income is 4.3 crores. Now minus my projected expenditure should be a crore. That gives me a projected profit of 3.3 crores, which is 78% profit margin. So now how do I plan to bring awareness of this idea? Simple, extensive digital marketing and downline activities such as signing up at hospitals, schools, multinational clinics, and so on. Also, I've used business influencers to boost up my idea. So from you, my dear investors, I require 50 lakhs, 5 lakhs for my setup, and 45 lakhs for 6 months of operations. Because this, as they say, an idea is just a mere fantasy. It ain't going to work by itself. So please join me in viewing the mock-up of my website, the Diabetic Advisor. still in the starting block of my website. And as the great Robert Frost quoted, I got my slope first. I got my slope first. Thank you for your patient listening, and I'm now open for questions.
Okay, I'm going to be the bad guy. So when you actually said that one of the, the potential way of market outreach is through social media and all of that, right? Have you done enough research to understand what's the cost of doing this on things like AdWords, being on social media? Because after all, right, there's so much information available. I can tell you that even a simple word that you're looking for is super expensive. So how are you going to ensure that you'll actually be visible in this ocean of the internet?
So how will it be visible? Yeah. So actually what I want to do is, so I'm actually going to get KCPs, which are healthcare professionals, to actually endorse me like in different places like multinationals, corporates. So when they endorse me, actually people can actually go on my website and look up and actually see what all is there. And then they also want to see the KCPs that are going to be there, and it's going to motivate them to actually join, because they need customer and direct customer and personal notifications.
That's fine, but I'm still saying that as a consumer, one, I think you are also trying to be at a stage where you want them to come and seek information, right? So healthcare professional comes a little after. How will they find this? That was my question, which is fine. Second thing is, what are the specific call to actions? I know that there is a lot of information available. Are you going to then link up to, let's say, specific appointments? When you say dietary consult, will you link it up to, let's say, someone actually being able to enable that consultation, whether virtual or physical? Are you thinking on some of those aspects?
Yeah, so for that slide, actually, so if people want to link up with doctors, they can actually have Skype calls here with experts. So they can actually have Skype calls, then later on, when my business starts doing better, they can actually go, you can book appointments on my website and you can go and meet the doctor.
I'm going to ask his question too. Where's the money in this?
Oh, do you want to see that? So this is my setup cost. So from retailers to laptops to server to internet, everything I've calculated and done it. So I've also been in close touch with one of my uncle who also started an entrepreneurial business, and now for my income, this is how my income is. So India's got a this thing, diabetic population of some 69.1 million. If I target 0.25% of that, who are paying 250 rupees, it's going to give them, it's going to give me an annual revenue of 4.3 crores. And also my advertisements, because people these days really want to advertise things.
It's a great idea, yeah. But just think through a little bit of how you're going to go and get people to subscribe, right? So it's important to think that in India, from India to everywhere else, we're trying to get people to adopt to the subscription model, but it doesn't really happen. And you have to also think that if something's available online and when you go and meet your doctor and you already pay them money, why would someone come and subscribe? So what is the extra value add that you're going to give to someone who comes and subscribes?
Exactly. So now when a person goes and meets a doctor, he gets the information for that point of time. Then he has to keep going to the doctor to keep getting information, maybe in how he can manage his body better, taking more insulin or less insulin. So here the website actually has HCPs, like I mentioned before. So these people, you can chat with them and they can actually tell you, like, if you want, maybe you can control this of your body, maybe you can eat this better, or you can cook this in a different way, so it's less carbs for you. So what's going to actually happen is this website's going to be available all the time. Whereas compared to a doctor might be there for a certain amount of time, but this website has information all the time. They can always go review on what they want to see.
Thanks. I want to ask you the same question. How many doctors and potential customers did you speak to?
So I spoke to quite a few doctors, and the issue was there was a slight pushback regarding the fact that what's in it for me. It's like the classic chicken and egg story. So they said, so they want a retainer actually, saying that otherwise there's no credibility of the doctors and there's no reliability, because even if I get some HCPs, they'll be like, we provided some wrong information, we have to leave. So there's no retainer, and so not too many doctors want to stay until I get a retainer. So I told them about the investor panel, and they said, great. So they said it's a great idea, brilliant idea, but once the investor pitch is over, come to us with the results and we'll look into getting into your business.
Could you use the microphone?
The smallest black to show the power of being. How many of y'all have pets? Or even love pets? Well, that's the law. So do we. After a whole day of hard work, you come to your house and your pet is racing towards you, wanting to lick you, right? Unlike these two pets here, they're depressed, lonely, and sad. And that's what we don't want a pet to be. So that's why we started Pets to, believe it or not, 4 million owners don't have enough time to spend with their dogs, with pets. And so we would like the Petser to give these dogs a happy feeling.
So why pets, not people? Because India is one of the fastest growing global pet market, and it has a driving demand for all the pet owners for pet accessories, pet food, pet clothes. Since since from the past few years, the pet population has grown from 7 million to 17 million in the past few years, which gives a great demand, and it is a huge market. So that's why we chose pets.
Our business concept. Our main focus is to give your pet all it needs. So we offer entertainment videos, also known as PTU, and pet networking, where we offer fun play dates, read to pet and stuff. And Pet Med offers medical information for you and your pet. And pet fashion, we have hot new trend clothes for pets, you, your owner, everything.
We have GPS collars for pets. If the pets get lost, in any case, you can track them to GPS collars. We have pet sitters. You might have other activities like you have work or you want to go on holidays, but you have your pets. You don't want to leave them alone, so you can contact the pet sitters and we can arrange. And we have pet rentals. In case you don't have pets, but you want to have the feeling or sense of having a pet, or if you want to exchange a pet, we have that facility.
Our business goals. In June 2018, we would like 50 to 100 members that are active on our app, and we would like a developed app. And in October 8, 2018, we want GPS collars, 50 to 75 built and sold. And in April 2019, we want an office and 200 to 300 members.
By June 2019, we would like to have 50 to 75 pets adopted, and we would like to start a pet store in Bangalore. And we would also like big veterinary hospitals to contribute. We want them to, join with us and help medical facilities and information.
Promotion. We offer 4 different types of promotion. door-to-door ad campaign, pet fashion show, and pet networking. So pet networking. This is where we have fun activities for the pets, and this allows Petzer to make a move on the world.
We have pet fashion show where we're going to conduct a show for all the pets where they can showcase their talents and skills, and the winners are going to get the GPS collars and pet clothes which are manufactured by us. And we have ad campaign. We have ad campaign where we want to showcase and promote through social media like Instagram, Facebook. We have already started. And today we had spoken to, there was a pet show happening in veterinary hospital where I stay nearby. And since I couldn't be there and I had my investor panel today, I told the coordinators to spread the word about Petzer. I think they're going to be doing today. So it has already started.
And the last but not least, we have door-to-door campaign where we design handouts, send it to pet stores, veterinary hospitals where they give it to their customers. It benefits both of us. Or we could manually send it to our neighbors and publish it. Okay, our pricing module. Our app is a freemium app, meaning it's a free app but requires money for subscription and better features. So our pet fashion would be 100 to 400 rupees. Our pet sitters would be 100 rupees per hour. And our GPS collars would be 500 to 600.
This is our economic units, and we need a total of 9 lakhs for all the pet sitters, pet medicals, pet clothes. So the competition, since we are starting it in Bangalore, these are our 2 main competitions. And Petzer does not just look on a single side or an angle of just providing the pet requirements, but it covers the all-round development and requirements for the pets. So that's our competitive advantage.
And this is how your pet would feel before and after using Petzer, which has left you in quite awe. Okay, and Petzer is the one-stop shop for entertainment to be used on the go. Thank you. And we also have a few prototypes to show you. So we developed our website. So we have this item, the vendors, and we have this shop where people could buy, clothes and accessories and stuff. And we have bookings for sitting, grooming, pet taking, and renting pets. And we have medical information. So everything about dogs, everything about cats, from treats to slippers, and so on. And we also have built clothes and other stuff.
And to an investment opportunity in my company, our books. So the problem these days is that many people have books that they've already finished lying around and are trying to find a good use for them. They also might not want to sell them, so what can they do with them? Our Books is the solution. Our Books is a peer-to-peer renting platform for books. It's also a way for people to make money out of their books without actually having to give their books away. So in a survey that I conducted, 88% of the people were willing to give their books for rent, while 70% of the people were willing to rent the books from others. So here's my SWOT analysis. My strengths is that my app is starting a specific niche in the market. I'm charging a fraction of the cost for rent. And my weaknesses is that I need large investments to sustain. I'm relying on a third-party firm for logistics and my level of experience in starting a real business. My opportunities, I'm creating a new market, and since smartphones and internet charges are getting cheaper, this allows for more users to access my app. So the threats is an emergence of another app with the same idea and another economic downturn. So my app will be targeting readers in India, and also people who have like lots of books and are willing to give their books away for rent. Our competitors, like Bookie.rent does the exact same thing as me, but then they don't operate in India. And libraries and other rental websites, but they don't allow users to list their books for rent. So I'll first be doing advertising through guerrilla marketing, promotions at schools and colleges, radio advertisements, and billboard advertisements. So I'll get revenue as a 50% charged commission of the rent charge. And later on, after getting a substantial amount of users, I'll also start getting advertisement revenue. So the average rent per book is 100 rupees. Out of that, I'll be getting 50, and logistics is 40. So the gross profit for a book would be 10 rupees. So here are my monthly rental projections. So for the first 2 months, my app won't be running, but then by September, I'll be reaching 1 lakh users, and by December, I'll be reaching 1 million users. Here are my operating costs. So then the monthly cost will be employee cost for 3.5 lakhs, office expenditure and utilities 50,000, and promotions for 1 lakh. So my total cost will be 5 lakhs. So my fixed cost is 3 lakhs for like the computers and servers. So here are my milestones. By March, I'll appoint a company to handle logistics and I'll launch the beta version of the app. By May, I'll get 1,000 users on the app and I'll launch the production version. By August, I'll get 10,000 users. By September, 100,000 users. And by October, I'm hoping to get a second round of investment. And by December, 1 million users. So my future plans, as I said earlier, is to get a second round of investment and expand my team, like expand to other cities and launch an iOS app. So for start of investment, I need 53 lakhs. Out of that, I'll be investing 3 lakhs of my own money, but I still need 50 lakhs. Thank you for your time. Any questions? So I actually made the prototype if you want to see it. I'll first be doing the app, and then later on, I'll be making a website. Yeah, I made it. Yeah, it's done, but then I still have to like make it better, and I have to make a database and stuff for it. Maybe that's it. Yeah. Okay, any questions?
Yeah, sure. I think it's a very good idea for readers. One issue I've had in renting my books to people is they don't come back. And they definitely don't come back in the same shape or form I give them. So how do you guarantee to the renter that the books will be in the same quality that they give it and they actually come back?
Okay, so I'm gonna have a customer support team, and if the people who rent their books, if they like make it faulty or something, they have to pay a fine for it.
Well, what happens if someone defaults? Let's say I've rented a book, I default. Like, have you thought about what's the recourse and is there an insurance or?
I didn't think about that yet.
So one way to think about getting more people to come and rent out books could be also for the platform to think about a warranty product to say, okay, we'll insure your book for X amount, which is what a lot of people do when they provide services, that if there's damage, we'll insure you.
Okay.
It's just an idea for you to think about.
Yeah, okay, thanks.
Om, love the clarity of thought throughout. Good job. So, have you ever thought about it? What would stop a Flipkart from doing this? They already have everything. They have the books too. They have the customers too. They have the logistics too. What stops them?
I think it's because they have to spend like extra time to make a completely new market, and they probably think.
It won't be more than what you have to spend.
I guess, yeah.
So you should probably consider them as competition too.
Yeah, okay.
Great idea. I think what is lovely is, I can see the word reuse. I think that's something we all are speaking of, and, it's a very responsible thing to say, something that you're reusing and not letting books lie in the shelves. So very, very nice to see that. The other feedback I would want to give is, have you been to Blossoms in Bangalore?
What?
Blossoms? There's a huge bookstore in MG Road. You should just make a trip. They rent books. So if you want to ever find 50-year-old, 80-year-old books, you could just go and spend an afternoon there. And they're into the whole read, rent, and reuse. So, it would be exciting to see how your app and the work that they're doing could probably mingle, and they might be ready to fund it for you for all you know.
Yeah, there's also Just Books.
And Just Books, both.
All across the
Yeah,
city.
so Just Books, they give their books for rent, but they don't allow users to give their books for rent.
Sure, yeah.
So that's what I'm doing here.
Cool.
Great, thank you so much, Om.
And this is my company, Global Outsourcing Solutions. So my company intends to capitalize on the Industry 4.0, which is the fourth industrial revolution, where manufacturing will all be done in smart factories, where the machines are all connected to each other and operated by software. This software will handle everything, right from acquiring the raw materials to manufacturing and logistics. So I propose to send super candidates, which were the IT engineers from India, and deploy them in Germany. Why I want to do this is because in Germany, there's a huge demand for this, and there's a shortage of people in this field. My focus area initially would be the Siemens PLM software, but there's scope for expanding into other industries. PIPL is an IT company based in Bombay, which will be my Indian partner and help me source super candidates. So my business goals are to find vertical industry competencies for aerospace, automotive, heavy engineering, and medical devices. And also to offer EDM consulting, which is electronic product data management. Yeah. And KVE research support, which is knowledge-based engineering. And also to establish a soft skills academy to teach the engineers German and European business etiquette. Just to show you how big my market is, initial survey done by Jobs Siemens PLM software revealed that within 30 kilometers of Stuttgart, which is the automobile hub in Germany, there were nearly 3,500 job vacancies. And then estimated of 35,000 job vacancies in Germany, as well as 70,000 job vacancies once major companies are added up. So here are my finances. There are three positions that the companies look for: a PhD or master's in computer engineering, which they need 5 placements for; senior PLM resources, which are 5 placements; and system analysis. For the PhD of or master's in computer engineering, it's 125 euros per hour. That's how much they make. And senior PLM resources is 80 per hour, and system analysis is 55 euros per hour. So after subtracting my operating costs, my gross profit for 1 month comes to 56 lakhs. My operating costs in India are 6 lakhs for 1 month. My competition would include HR recruiters and online language apps for my academy, but I will have the initial mover's advantage in this industry because it's new. So here's what companies look for when they're hiring an engineer. After initial knowledge in PLM, they also look for detailed knowledge in software architecture. My next steps are to identify suitable candidates and develop a professional partner strategy, as well as to set up contractual framework. My funds required are 55 lakhs for 25% equity. Thank you.
Rahul, I'll be very honest, that went like here. Good job, man. I have no questions.
Okay, I have a question. I want to know why do you think this is a new area and the competition is not that strong? I thought this is what headhunters do for a living.
Headhunters do recruit people, but
the people they're recruiting are not specialized in PLM software, or even if they are, it's not that much. So my company specializes in only people that are specialized in operating the PLM software. So yeah.
You don't worry, like someone who's, let's say, sourcing for other software jobs, IT jobs, can also add that capability? What's so special about PLM software?
So PLM software is basically a software that does manufacturing. So most companies that do manufacturing in the near future will use this software. So it's extremely big, so yeah.
So, how many of you have ever had trouble dressing up for different occasions? Raise your hands. Well, I have a solution. Welcome to La Mode. So, in this day and age, people have the need to dress fashionably, and that's what we're trying to do. Before, you have a messy room with no idea what to wear, and after, you have a perfect outfits. Perfect outfits for every occasion. That's what we want to provide. So essentially, it's a lookbook, which is a book for looks with a twist. It helps you find out where to get these from. It's going to make discovery of your own personal style innovative and fun, and it's going to recommend popular brands, boutiques, e-commerce sites based on your likes and dislikes that you enter. This is basically a summary in a slide. So this app is basically for new college students, first jobbers, and anyone who wants to make that transition from just clothes to fashion. The main priority of this app is quality, the quality of recommendation, quickness of turnaround time, personalized service, etc. So this is competition and how we differentiate. Here we have a couple of the leading styling brands, and this is how we differentiate. It's pretty much self-explanatory. This is a quick visual of exactly how it works. This is also pretty self-explanatory. So you start up with a sign-in page where you also enter in your zip code so that it can provide places near you for you to get these things. Today we're taking a fictional example. You also have a quiz, and all the output will be put on the silhouette. And then you're here. So say you're going to this, it's going to be based on your favorite colors or your favorite styles from your favorite brands, which has been entered near you using the zip code. So that's the result. So promotion and marketing, one of the most important things. Marketing is going to be through social media, through guerrilla marketing, collateral material, etc. And we're going to start marketing before, just to make people intrigued. These are our revenue projections. So in the first 6 months to 1 year, we're mainly interested in getting a good user base, and these are our long-term goals. This is the business model. So revenue is going to be attained through subscription, advertising, partnerships, and then later, if we get successful, through sponsored ads, commission based on purchased merchandise, etc. These are a couple of more of our goals. The number of times users visit, number of partnerships. And finally, this is the funding ask. The total is 118, but don't worry, not all of this is expected from you. There's also going to be personal funding. There's going to be, of course, from investors like you, family and friends, etc. And this is what we're going to need it for. Thank you.
So are you going to have, again, like I asked the other guys, so call to action would be, because you've listed out brands people can actually buy off it too. Is that also a part of the website?
This isn't, we're not here to sell clothes.
Okay.
We're here to give advice.
Okay.
And there is going to be, we are going to be talking with a couple of brands and stuff because, we're providing them customers, and that can also be an additional revenue source.
Okay, so they just can't buy off this app at all. It's just for knowing what the styles are.
Yeah, not yet anyway.
Okay.
Do you think you'll, I mean, in your competition, do you also consider the fashion, both stores and websites, to be a competition? Because most of them also come with a lookbook. They also try to be more, build upon a recommendation, and then generally people tend to buy. So how do you think of that as a competition?
Um, well, the thing is, it's not a unique idea, but it's more that we want to be the best run company more than the most unique idea. That's what's going to provide us with customers.
I see. Do you also fear that once someone's used you once, they'll just go away? Because once people have figured out a few brands around them, they'll go away? Or do you believe that people will keep coming back?
I do believe that people will keep coming back because, as you saw at the beginning, a lot of people have trouble with choosing outfits. This is going to help them.
To add to that, and why you need to think through it is, say if someone, like you said, you're looking at college kids, so someone who's trying to figure out and see what fashion works on them and what styles work on them, and say they come and use it a couple of times and they sort it for, say, a beachwear, a party, a daily workwear. Why would I come back again? Because after 4 uses, I have figured out what works for me and what could be my style, and then I could go forward and experiment. So that's where he's coming from. As to, have you thought through, because then that means that you're not going to be able to retain the customer because they've come a couple of times, used it, and they've discovered their style.
Yes, see, if they have a good experience, they'll pass on this message.
Okay.
And then we'll get more customers if they have a good experience. So that's the logic behind it.
Okay. The other question is, you again looking at college students and young kids and people who've joined, recently started working, freshers. So when you're looking at brands, are you looking at brands across board, like not everything that's Zara and an H&M or a Marks and Spencer, but also cheaper local brands?
Of course, because Zara is not going to make a deal with a new startup, right? But say if it's a slightly cheaper brand, like say maybe Biba, then we might have a chance. It's like I said, it's another revenue source.
Great. Thank you.
Okay, thanks. I have business cards to hand out. Did you get it? Okay. Thank you.
Start it, you can stop it, and you can even make it wake up once it's done toasting. Well, this will work by buying normal toasters in bulk and adding extra components that we will use to make more features. Features include an app that we have now, timer, so you can set it for a certain amount of time and it stops, and it stops once it is about to burn. After funding, I will add a heater system so it remains hot even when you are away and without burning your toast. I'll add an alarm so it will wake you up until it's done. I was planning to make it completely wireless, but then that may not be possible. My target audience is people who are very busy and they don't have enough time to make their toast properly, and that people that get inspired by a product will also buy it. And there are many people that want a premium toaster, but they don't mind paying a little bit extra, so they will also be members. This is an aspirational product, so I'll inspire people to actually buy it. I'll make lots of people with fan posts with a toaster and post it on social media. And I'll tag artists and athletes so people get inspired and they buy it. I'll have stalls in malls and I'll have a marketing team that actually sells it. And then I'll have infomercials and I'll have stalls at outlets such as Metro, Mall and Big Bazaar, etc. My competition is the Griffin toaster. It's not in India and it costs almost double my product. And I also a normal toaster in my competition. However, my product is aimed at a more niche market. My SWOT analysis is, my strengths are easy to use. I guess you could say plug and play. It has many unique features that haven't been introduced. My opportunity, because it's a new product, a fairly new product, there is not much competition. My weakness is that it costs more than an average toaster. My test is that my competition may improve, and then it may also have the same features that I have. Here's my finance. I'm going to buy all my things from China because it is much cheaper over there. I already contacted a couple of people in China and they gave me these figures. It'll cost 200 for a toaster. It'll cost 859 to get it delivered to get everything delivered to the warehouse. And I'll sell it for 2,000. However, taxes will be 610. So my total selling price will be 2,610. This is, I need 1.92 lakhs for my team. I'll have an accountant and I'll have a couple of people. And then for marketing, since it's a new product, I need 3.4 lakhs. And my product relies on marketing. So I need to convince people to buy my product. My supply will cost 859,000. As it costs 859 per unit for 100 units to buy it. My registration will cost 10,000. The total will be 1.4 lakhs. I'll invest 2 lakhs in my company, and I'll need 12 lakhs. Yeah, you can feel free to ask me a question. Oh yeah, and also I have a prototype ready. So I can connect it with my phone. And this has 56 instruments, so I guess I could see this agent that's actually not possible. I was planning to use a motor, but no. I'll do that after.
Cool. So, Daksh, do you know what's the market size of toasters? Have you seen, has it gone up, gone down? Have you spent time on it?
Yeah, but then there's a big market. However, people don't buy a product. They buy a product only once. So
I'm just asking, do you know what's the market size of toasters? How many people have bought toasters? You don't know. And so it seems like a lot of things before getting the product right. So I'm a bit worried about it, to be very honest. Because if we're speaking about a product, I know the app will function well. I know I can see that the device is receiving signals, but if we did see a prototype, I would have tried to quantify all the costs that you put, all of those things together to see if it's really making sense. Because right now, that's, at least in my mind, it's looking like a big risk. From planning to what you're showing to what is actually the product. So, feedback.
I actually think this whole smart devices is a super exciting space, smart cooking appliances, so I think you're thinking exactly in the right direction. I think I'd build on what Rohit said. I would nudge you to think more about what device, if you really have the coding skills to make it smart, what device and what appliance would you want to do it to? So for example, I'm a big fan of this appliance called Rotimatic. Have you seen that? There's a team in Singapore which launched that. It just takes the dough and makes the roti and throws it out. And that's what, I think something like that. And there's this hot pot in US, which is now a rage, which just makes everything. So I think great, yeah, dosa maker, yeah. So I think this is the future. These things are going to be smart because we are all becoming more stupid. But yeah, I would also urge you to think more about which appliance do you want to do it on and what's the lead time.
Yeah.
again, I'd reiterate what they said is just think through. Also, when you're looking at toasters, are you not looking at the hospitality industry and smaller restaurants and hotels who might be interested in having some of this stuff?
Yeah, I was looking at actually, but the market is bigger for people that are actually busy because people that are busy usually take their family to for example, a mall on a Saturday or for a movie to make up for the time that they haven't spent in the whole week. So we plan to target those kind of people, and there's a big market for that.
Great. Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Nishchay Jampala and this is my product Ignis. So, just a question. Have you ever run out of battery at like a really important time? Please raise your hands. See, the problem is mobile devices don't have an infinite battery supply. So what is my product? Ignis is a modular, self-sustaining power generating device that uses thermal energy generated to produce clean and green electricity. Ignis is modular. This means that it's customizable and you could customize it to your specifications. What is its Ignis' differentiator is that energy could be stored and it could be used later on like a battery pack. And Ignis can charge any device that uses a USB connector. So here is the 3D blow up of my device. This is the concept. So yeah, there are 3 main layers. Yeah. So the market snapshot. The power bank market's valuation is to rise to $36.15 billion, and the demand for portable power banks is to remain high through 2022. And Asia Pacific market will have the highest growth because it has the maximum number of phones and also the rising popularity of 4G and high-speed internet, which takes up battery. So my competition would be regular battery packs, phone chargers, and other green electricity devices like solar chargers. So here is my SWOT analysis. So my strengths are that it's a novel product and it has multiple usage. My weaknesses are it's a new entrant to market and lack of experience. My opportunities are to license my technology to other industries and different companies. Yeah, and also the high demand of power banks. And my threats are no patents and market acceptance. So here's my competitive edge. Just skip the animation. So my product's competitive edge is that it's portable. It can be secured using straps. You can store electricity, as I've told you, as I've said. It is modular and easily customizable. It can be used in various situations, like when you're out exercising, you could, strap it to your arm, so your body will be generating heat, and that can be converted to electricity. It's affordable when we reach economies of scale, and it's a simple device that can be used by anyone. So my go-to-market strategy. So our market is anyone with a smartphone or a USB port, and I will advertise through the internet and websites, marketing through social media, online retailers, and tech conventions like CES, Consumer Electronics. So this is the unit economics of my product. Yeah, so the cost per product is 700, and I'll be selling it for 1,000. Yeah, I'll just skip this. So funding. So I'll be investing. Initially, I'll be investing 70,000 into the company. My family and friends will be investing like 85,000. And from the investors, I would like to ask 16,000. Just a small mistake over there. So yeah, 16 lakhs. And the total will be 17 lakhs and 65,000. So here's the breakup of the 16,000 investment. Yeah. So prototype and supplies would be 4 lakhs, marketing advertising 3.5, branding 3 lakhs. Yeah. So thank you for your time. Any questions?
Sorry, I have a more clarificatory question. What is the product exactly? It's a power bank, or how does it work?
It's a power bank. So like your body generates thermal energy. So what my product aims to do is to capture that energy and turn it into electrical energy.
Got it. So it's body's thermal energy. So you have
No,
to strap it on.
you can also add it strap it onto other devices like let's see, yeah, you could strap it onto like devices like a phone or anything like
So any heat?
yeah, anything that generates heat basically.
This is right now just an idea, is it? Or you have something made
After I get the investment, I'll be going to an engineering firm to speak it out, and they will be.
So I saw a cost of material sheet. How did you come up with that?
I got pretty rough figures, like a few estimates.
Okay.
As well?
Yeah, the design, I got it. Yeah, so this is like my how it's supposed to look. My first visual concept. I made this with the help of my family.
You made this?
Yeah. So yeah.
So have you tested whether the science works?
Yes.
So like how many hours do you have to charge for, let's say, a full phone charge?
See, it depends because it's modular, so you can replace some of these pieces. So if you're going on like if you're going out for like a really long time, you can, and if the battery can only store a little bit of amount of electricity, you can swap out that battery with another battery that could hold more electricity. And yeah, so there's the same thing for the yeah, and you could remove pieces and yeah.
Have you seen this concept working in any other spaces? I know it works in air conditioning. Have you seen that, how it works?
Yeah, they're also there in water purifiers also in some of them.
Okay. So is it going to be similar with the size shrunk down, or is it a completely different concept?
It's pretty similar.
Okay.
And you're saying we could use it to charge phones, but what else? Any other
anything that uses a USB port to charge, so like iPods or other battery packs also. So.
One more thing. So if this is going to be, the assumption is it's going to be on the skin somewhere?
Yeah, you could attach it to your shoulder or yeah.
Okay. So that means you know the number of whatever licenses, permissions, all of those things which go into it, right? From an FDA to whatnot. Because otherwise this can actually cause harm to our body, right?
Yeah. So
I didn't see that in the threads, which is why I was asking. Yeah, you may want to think through about that.
I will. Thank you.
A great idea. It could be life-changing for me at least.
My name is Srinivas. Okay. My startup is Praram. Before I start, thank you. Okay. Now let me start like this. So, lot of choices tends to create a lot of confusions. Yes or no? Suppose you have 3 dresses that you want to decide which one you want to wear for a party. So that creates a lot of confusion, right? But in that case, if you choose one over the other 2, those dresses doesn't feel bad. But in reality, there are circumstances when such choices may affect others, right? So one such problem in society is regarding the NGOs. India is a country where there is rapid growth in the number of NGOs every year. And all these NGOs are working for a good purpose. But this rapid increase has created a lot of confusion among the individuals who want to donate money as to which NGO they have to donate the money for. Okay. Basically what Praram does is, we'll be concentrating on individual donors and the families, and also corporate companies, because that's a major market that we want to target on. And we want to build a bridge between the NGOs and the donors, and to reduce confusion, as I told. And it's going to be a one-stop forum where all the NGOs can promote themselves. It's going to be a website where they can register themselves and put up their profiles so that everyone can view it and they can promote themselves. Okay, why Praram? Now what's happening is, since the competition among the NGOs is very big, there are few major NGOs who are very exposed and they almost gain the limelight from everyone. There are many NGOs who don't get more exposure to everyone, and they're not successfully, they are failing to raise funds. And there are many benefits that individual can get or a corporate company can get by doing charity. And we want everyone to understand what are the benefits that they get from providing charity. And we're going to have an easy transaction in a website where all the viewers can view the NGOs categorically. We'll break down the NGOs and it will make them easy to decide for which NGO they want to donate for. Okay. This is the business model. We'll have two teams. One team will be concentrating on all the NGOs and getting them registered towards the company, and another team will be working on getting the people who want to donate money. And as I told, we'll have a team will be meeting corporate companies. We'll have a team will be concentrating on individuals also. And once they get in touch with us, we'll make sure all this process happens easily. Okay, the market size. As I told, in India, there are around 31 lakh registered NGOs. And these NGOs are raising a lot of money, but only few major NGOs are getting the most part of the money, and few others are failing to get enough money. They want to run the NGO successfully. Again, the marketing strategy is similar. The most important one will be word of mouth and referrals. Referrals, I think, will have a better impact, because if someone is contributing, maybe they can refer some of the friends to contribute also. And social media, advertisements. Okay, this is the costing. My entire operation for a year will cost me around 30 lakhs. And there are few registrations that I have to do in order to run this company. And there are a few complications also. And since the Praram will be providing tax exemption, we'll have to register under section 80G, 12A, and the other legal registrations also. And considering all those things and getting office and payment for the employees, I request you to grant me 30 lakhs. Okay, the revenue generation. Okay, there will be 2-3 steps where I can generate revenue for the company. And the first step will be the registration charges collected by the NGOs. And I want to register the NGOs by giving them a free for 1 month. And later on, the subscription charges will be allocated. And then whatever the funds we raise through our company, will be taking 2% as a compensation from the NGOs. Okay. Thank you.
Srinivas, I didn't see competition.
Yeah, there are actually 2-3 competitors in India as well. One is NGO organization called as Dasras. It is in Mumbai. What they basically do is they concentrate only on the corporate companies, and the major motto of our company will be concentrating on individuals also. That's the differentiating factor.
Anyone else that you've come across? Across the world, are there other similar models in, let's say, the US or the UK or something like that?
Yeah, basically, I don't know about the foreign countries, but in India, there are many mediators who act as a bridge. They book appointments with the corporate companies, and they make sure everything is done, and they collect some money from the NGOs, basically.
You should look up something called Milap.
Okay.
Have you heard of it?
No, sir.
Milap. Just
Okay,
look that up. They do like pretty much similar, but they're focused only on healthcare. But everything that you just said, they've actually done all that, including raising money from individuals. So I can contribute like 5 rupees or 5,000. There's no limit.
Yes, I'll definitely check on it.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, ma'am.
So, somewhere you need to think about crowdfunding as well. While people are coming here, it's actually a really good example.
Yeah. Ma'am, just to add on to the point, I have asked many of my friends why they don't want to be a part of change. Everyone wants change to happen, but none of them want to initiate that. The only answer I get is, yeah, I will do, but I'm waiting for an opportunity. So what I thought was, through Praram, instead of forcing them, we will create opportunity for them and make sure they contribute for the change. One example is, I'm interning. I was a part of NGO for 12 years. I studied all my 12 years in an NGO. So I've been in and out. I've seen how difficult it is to raise funds. Now I'm an intern at NGO RM team. The school that I studied is called as Parikrama. What we have planned is to raise funds. We'll only create opportunities by creating programs in corporate companies, setting up stalls, making sure we'll explain what the NGO is all about to all the individuals. Apart from what the company wants to contribute, we'll make sure and collect as much as money possible from the individuals. So this is how basically the crowdfunding also works. So I think this idea also we want to implicate through this program. Thank you.
I'm Leon Vinny, and my business is the Geriatrics Diploma Center. So at one point of time, we all will grow old. And as you grow old, you cannot look after, you don't have the capabilities to go out and do your day-to-day needs. You need assistance from someone. And because when you're young, you have this passion to excel in whatever you do. And you have this determination to go out and survive in the world. But as you grow older, you start losing out on this energy. And you start requiring assistance. For example, old people, they tend to get coughs that don't go away. Their bones tend to break and they don't mend back together. And this can cause a lot of trouble for them. So this is where geriatrics comes in. Geriatrics is, by definition, the study of the elderly or the taking care of the elderly. So geriatricians are trained to look after the healthcare of the elderly, their finances, their investments, and their properties. So what do I do to fill in this need gap? I provide trained personnel to with diplomas in geriatrics who complete my coursework with satisfactory marks. This comes under the education industry and is a sole proprietorship. So if you ask me why I chose geriatrics, it's because my parents don't have a little bit of friction with their parents, and that has caused my grandfather to turn our ancestral home into a geriatrics center, old age home, because he feels that at times he doesn't have anyone to talk to. He wants to share his problems with someone, and that motivated me to start this. So what drives us? Well, this is my mission statement, but there's something more to this. I have this sort of fear within me that at one point of time, I will be old too. And when I grow old, I will want my children to go out to the world and explore the world. But I'm also worried about myself. What will happen to me? How will I take care of myself? Therefore, I want to ensure a safer future for me and for you. So what can my students do after they finish my coursework? Well, they can get jobs in hospitals, nursing homes, healthcare, assisted living communities, and provide medical and spiritual care to the elderly. So just to give you a preview of how big my market is, it's said to be at a stunning $7.1 trillion in the US itself, and is expected to grow to $13.5 trillion by 2032. And the Indian health minister said we need 80 million geriatricians in India, and we only have 120,000 geriatricians, which means I have a huge potential. So what is the eligibility for anyone to do this course? Well, anyone with any degree in any medical field or social work can take part in my course. These are a few to list. So my competition. Well, I have the Geriatrics India Center, which is a postal geriatrics diploma center based out of Kerala. And my competitive advantage over them is I'm online. Because if it's postal, you have to take the effort of going out to the post and sending your work in. Instead, while you can just do it online. And the Geriatrics Diploma program is an online geriatrics center, but their diploma is only certified by the McMaster University in the US. Meanwhile, I plan on getting my diploma certified by Georgetown University. So marketing will be done mainly with the help of Google AdSense, and I will also conduct many branding exercises in medical journals, magazines, hospitals, and etc. So I plan on selling at least 10 units by the end of 2018 and generate enough profits to pay back all liabilities. And then I plan on starting postal course by 2022, not 19, in rural areas of India for a lower cost. This will also help increase our nation's job rate. And I plan on becoming the largest geriatric diploma center in India by 2020. So the syllabus will be compiled by me from credible resources, and it will be endorsed by reputed experts in the field. And I will get my coursework certified by Georgetown University, who I have talked to and have agreed on crediting my coursework after they see my coursework, and the Geriatric Society of India and the US. So how can somebody enroll in my course, and how can somebody get the diploma? Well, diploma center. And then you choose a coursework, and there are 6 compulsory topics that a student must choose and 4 specialities. So you do your course, and then there's a student portal where you can see how far you have completed the course, what your grades were, where your areas for improvements are. And then you test your learning. After each course, you have an online multiple choice quiz, which you have to complete. And after, say, 3 courses, you have a quiz with all the 3 combined, then after another 3, all 6, and in the end, all of them together. So this is what my website looks like. I created this, and could you click on the course? Yeah. So this is how my courses will be. 6 compulsory topics and 8 specialties are available, out of which the student must choose at least 4. The 6 are basics of everything, and the 4 are to specialize in, say, finances or healthcare and so on. So my monthly cost is predicted to be at around 10,000 rupees. And I am planning on sending, just one minute. I'm planning on sending, I intend on spending 400,000 on Google AdSense, about 5,000 on a local website developer, as I don't need a heavy website, and 100,000 on getting my diploma certified, and 100,000 on my advisors, who are Dr. Shane Roche, based out of the UK, and OP Sharma, who runs the geriatric head in India. And I asked for 565,000 rupees for 20% equity. Thank you.
Leon, how does the subscription work? Where's the payment model?
So I'm still working on my payment, because I have to do some more research on it, depending on the kind of jobs the students get. So I'm predicting around 50,000 to 60,000 rupees for the coursework.
So you also know that there is a cutoff on age limit, right, for employment.
Yeah.
So how does this work? So if, let's say, someone's beyond 60, a company cannot legally employ them fully. You can only come as a consultant or something. So that severely limits the ability to be able to bring them onto a job, right? How would that counter?
I was mainly targeting for people between the age of, say, 20 to about 40. Yeah.
What?
I was mainly aiming for people between the age of 20 to 40. So
this is for people who want to help with geriatricians, is it? Okay, sorry. I thought these are for, people who are older to upskill.
Right.
Or,
Sorry, I totally got confused. I actually thought that these are for, older folks to upskill and then become available for a job again and keep themselves busy. Really, that's exactly how I saw it.
Sorry.
Uh, oh, okay. Great. That makes a lot of sense then.
My question is, how does this differ from, let's say, a lot of your nurses, attendants that would
Right.
work both in hospitals as well as work for healthcare at home providers? They also get some basic training. So how would this differ in that sense from people who train them?
Well, it's about it. I mean, nurses are good at taking care of your health. Meanwhile, geriatricians, they are more towards an overall taking care of someone. For example, their finances, properties, investments, and so on. Not just their health. And geriatricians often tend to have more knowledge about the problems that the elderly citizens face compared to nurses.
So right now, when you go to job portals, you don't see this at all, right?
Yeah.
And you're catering to an Indian audience. So again, if you have someone taking care of their health, plus finances and all, how do you overcome that whole trust issue that's there? Because that's going to be a huge factor, right, in someone employing any of these people.
Well, that is not part of my business technically. I just provide the diplomas because it's a growing market and it has huge potential and it's just hitting the Indian market, and I provide the diplomas and the rest is depending on what the students do.
Great. Thanks.
Mahesh. I'm Simon. So I basically was born and grown up in a village near Doddaballapur. So where in that village, one thing that I saw and was like very curious, or that came up to my mind always, was that in the village, the local peoples in need for money couldn't go to banks because banks were not there in villages and they had to go for a far distance and come back. So in this village, they were like owners who are rich and filthy rich. So what the people who need for money used to do is go and give their valuable things or anything that they can give money to these owners and get money. And these owners used to like take full advantages of it and not give them an assured, like a guarantee or thing, and were not responsible. And they used to give very less time for getting back that thing that they have given it to them. So I thought, why is this happening, and what is the solution for this problem? So I thought, okay, let's get a solution, and started this pawn place, so where you can buy, sell, and provide loans. So pawn place is exactly a platform where you can buy items and even pawn things which are as an antique value, or it has money value. And also where people can come and sell the old stuff which they think it's consuming a lot of space, and where I am thinking that is very interesting and it's an antique value to it. So my customers' experience should be well dignified, and they should feel very good of coming to my place, because usually in India, pawning mindset is that when you're totally into trouble or somewhere, that's the mindset of all Indians. You go to a pawn shop only when you're in total trouble, and the pawn owner takes full advantages of it and asks you like immense amount of things and stuff. So that's my main on this one. And it provides you instant money. If you want like a lot of money, you can't go to the bank, apply a document and stuff, and then they come and check all the process, and it takes a lot of time, right? But here it provides a lot of money instantly, and it's open from 8 p.m. to 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. all days a week, so it's affordable. And my goals after starting this, it's to establish a strong base in and around Bangalore so that people get to know and make full use of it. And long-term goals are to expand across Karnataka and India. My SWOT analysis strength, we are the first ones to do something like this. Weaknesses, startup costs, promotions, and other things that need to do for people to understand what we're trying to do. Opportunities, it's a resource-based base for India's hidden history, because India is very well known for history and it's popular to it. Threats are copyright, security, and people's narrow-minded, because as I told, India is very narrow-minded towards spawning and stuff. And where am I going to set? So rural location, I'm going to set up one shop where I can find, because all these antique things can be found only in villages and stuff where people don't know the antique value of it. So I can collect the items from there and sell it in urban locations where collectors are looking for history. And our business will be in partnership form. Yes, Simon.
Thank you, Mahesh. So as Mahesh said that we are doing in a team, so this will be a partnership firm. And the legal structure is like we will have a transactional will be documented, and there will be a financial bookkeeping where there will be no problem in the future. And the market analysis is the main target will be with the buyers and the people who are interested in like history, and competition will be the local pawnbrokers and online website like Amazon and eBay. Then marketing strategy we will start up the business by doing a grand event, and to promote our business we'll start up with like putting ads in the media, and like the main business will start up in the rural area, so we'll add up in the local channels. And this is the financing and costing, and just have a look like. And this profit and revenue, like selling the collected items should be to the right people, and if there is a slow in market, like selling will make the pawn shop as in a museum where people can enter the shop by taking tickets, and there will be no wastage of time in there. So, and the last thing is pawning and lending money. Thank you.
I know that in the US this is a fairly well established practice. Have you guys seen how it's working? What are the...
So I got this idea by seeing this. I'm a very regular user of seeing Pawn Stars in History TV 18. So I
don't know about that, but I know that it's a fairly good industry in the US.
Yes.
But I really don't have a context of how it's doing with the advent of the Amazons and all of that. I know it used to exist. I really don't know if it does exist, which is why I'm asking you guys, have you seen how that industry is?
Yes.
So is it still around?
Yes, it is still around, and it's very famous. And yeah, but it's never done in India.
Sure.
So I was trying, why not try it in India? And that could be the solution for my problem also.
Okay.
You, in some sense, maybe it's not tried in India because a lot of valuables people have a gold, and gold loan is already done. So anything to learn from the gold loan companies, because that's essentially I would say the most organized pawn industry in India in some sense.
True, but not only gold, like other antique things, because in many villages there's something that's they don't even know what, and I have an idea because their ancestors have left it in them and it's consuming space, and they're like, okay, let's throw it away. But
there my concern is, how do you verify what is antique, what is its value?
So we have a lot of experts who will be in Bangalore, who have expert knowledge about the thing. So if a customer comes and even I could not find out, searching it through Google, I ask the customer to like give me 1 day or 2 days time. I take it to the experts and know its value, and then negotiate with the customer and sell it for a valuable reason.
So Mahesh, I'm also seeing a small correlation that if I see something which is perhaps in my mind not valuable and I want to pawn it, I can also try and go to things like Quicker and all of those, right, to also sell it, because it's anyway of no value to me. Why will I come and take it back? I might as well sell it and be done with it.
No, if you want, you can pawn it or you can sell it also.
Okay, so selling is also an option.
Yeah, so I buy, sell and loans.
Okay.
Thanks.
And that is what we are trying to create. So how many of you have faced the problem of going to a store and not actually finding food that will meet your dietary concerns? Well, they all quite got it. So and I had the same problem. And that's why I came up with Imposia. So what we aim to do is in my products, and oh, just before you do that, would any of you have allergies?
No, so this is healthy alternative.
So what you just ate was not only healthy, but also has ingredients that can actually boost your immunity. So these are my keys to success. The first one is entry strategy. So I have two phases. The first one is entering the market with online portals and travel agencies and airlines. My second phase is procuring shelf space in stores. And so brand building. So we want to establish our brand before we actually enter the market. So we already have a customer base that way. And customer experience. We truly value customer experience. We have email IDs that will take in people's feedbacks, and our product type will be optimized to the feedback we receive. So these are the statistics. 75% of the products that I am currently wanting to introduce do not exist in the market. And the other 25% exist, but in a slight variation. And so I interviewed people with the prototypes we interviewed today, and 87% of the people were fine with a slight taste variation. So this is my competition. The prices are for 100 grams of their product. So the one in yellow is the one that is most similar and is trying to do something similar to what I'm doing. So competition advantage. So I'm introducing vegan products that no one has ever explored in India. There's no packaged vegan food in India. And I'm of course introducing new varieties that the Indian market is not currently seeing. And I have absolutely no chemicals. So this is the way I want to market via events, travel agencies, packaging, and brand influencers. I have already talked to 17 fitness centers in Bangalore, and they are ready to promote my product. So this is my product products. And I am asking for 30 lakhs from the investors, and I am investing 23.5 lakhs for myself. That's all.
See, when you say you're going to be economical, what does that mean? Are you going to be
Basically, so this is for 100 grams of the product. And they do not sell just 100 grams. So tell us one packet of their chips costs 590 rupees. And so economical, I mean 100 grams of my product costs somewhere between 30 to 35.
And you also said you won't use preservatives, none of those. So have you also thought of shelf life in that case?
Well, I am using ingredients that are sustainable, such as millets. So they have somewhere around 6 to 9 months, depending on the combination.
Okay. My other question is, isn't it looking like a cluttered market already? You may be really healthy, but healthy is a term that even Bonvita uses to everybody, right? Is there relevance to being healthy? Is there a relevance of using the word healthy anymore? Because everybody is healthy. Nobody brings an unhealthy product at all, right? So how do you go about distinguishing yourself?
Well, mine has low calories. I mean, there are other products that do this. But mine also has ingredients that boost your immunity that are not chemicals. So they're 100% natural.
Yeah, but still, I mean, I think, you need to still think a bit about the storage and the shelf life thing. And again, products I saw was low-calorie ice cream and snack bars, right? So snack bars also, the market's flooded with them. How do you say a very known Indian brand is the yoga bars, right? The girls who started it are doing really well today in the market. So how do you really think through and differentiate is why would someone come and pick up your stuff and not a yoga bar that they've been consuming for a year?
So breakfast bars, the most of them that exist in India are sweet. I am trying to introduce savory breakfast bars because I have talked to a lot of people. I had 170 people in the market telling me that they do not want something that's sweet because it does not really suit the Indian taste.
No, I have like more a comment than a question. I think I agree. The market is very cluttered. I read this story recently about a company in the US who sold to Kellogg's, and he made only energy bars. And the only thing he did, and like US is like super cluttered with energy bars. And the only thing he did differently was on his packaging was nothing but ingredients put on front rather than back, and like font 32. Like, this is really natural and this is what we have and no other stuff. So this is the future, but like if you can work on packaging and distribution and innovation around that, I think it's fantastic market.
Tejaswini, who's going to talk about events, but events with a little bit of a twist.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Tejaswini, and my company's name is IRL. So, as a teenager in a progressive city like Bangalore with a flourishing social life, the only thing on my mind is what the theme is going to be for my next party or where I'm going to have my next party, what it's going to look like. And I can never find the right event planner to do that because either he's really good and has exactly what I need, but he's too expensive, or he's right in my budget but doesn't give me the quality that I want. And when I asked around, I asked my friends and took a survey, a lot of them have faced the same problem, which is why I started to start my company called IRL. It's right in the middle. It gives you quality, quantity, and at the price that you need it. So IRL stands for in real life, and that's exactly what our objective is, to make your dream event, make you experience your dream event in real life. And our twist is we're aimed only at teenagers and teenage events like birthday parties, graduation ceremonies, going away parties, quinceañeras, etc. So our demographic would be mainly teenagers. This would be my business structure. I have a marketing and PR team, which in this industry is extremely important because the market already has a lot of event planners and event management companies. A managing and finance team to tell me where my money is going and not make me wonder where my money went. I'll be doing marketing through newspapers, magazines, radio, TV, and social media. Managing and finance would be the employees, vendors, DJs, people who I'm going to hire, and the finance team will help me with my cash inflow and outflow. Marketing and advertising is how we can spread the word. It's very important, like I mentioned before. So there are two kinds of marketing, above the line and below the line. Above the line is more traditional methods of marketing, and below the line is more unorthodox, untraditional ways of marketing. IRL falls right in the middle. Because we're a young company, we probably save our money by posting on social media and spreading our name through social media, like Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, Twitter. And the money we gain through that, we will be hiring promoters to come to our events and promote our company on social media. Later, after we've established our customer base and established ourselves as a company on the market, we'll be using above-the-line marketing, that is radio, TV, magazines, and newspapers. Financing. So, because this is a physical venture, it will require a little more investment than the average internet venture. And because it's an event management company, I cannot really bracket a certain price on an event. The cost will depend on the theme, what the event actually is, and the scale of the event. And I require funding for employees, vendors, and materials. So employees, I will be paying them on a per unit basis rather than on a timely basis, because in the event management field, you can have a very slow month like say January and a booming month in December. So per unit basis makes more sense. And I'll also save money by employing interns, because me myself, to start this company and gain experience, I interned at 2 event management companies, Event Flow and Free Event Management, and I've done that as an unpaid intern just to gain experience. So I'll be saving a lot of money by hiring interns. So investment. On average, every project, so because I'm aimed at teenagers, my standard project would be a birthday party, say a birthday party. 25,000 to 30,000 per project, the cost. So a total investment of around 6 to 8 lakhs to helping with over 5 projects, employees, marketing, and also possibly set up a physical office. A breakdown of the cost of each event. My standard package would be a 20 to 30% markup, which if it costs 35, I would be charging a 50,000. The venue would be 5 to 9,500. Materials would be 7,000 to 10,000. Food and drinks would be 5 to 7,000. Logistics 5 to 7,000. So totally over 22 to 35,000. So how we plan on growing? I would like to organize a minimum of 5 events, and in 2 years I would like to diversify myself and organize more than just events for teenagers, possibly go into the world of corporate events. In 5 to 6 years, I'd like to start my own event, like a Comic-Con, but with different themes, because like I mentioned before, our objective is to make you experience your dream event in real life. And these are a few sample ideas that I have. This is for a 18th birthday party, and the theme is Old Hollywood. This is a music fest / Coachella / Bohemian theme. And like I mentioned before, I'd like to have organized 5 events in my first year. I've already I'm almost halfway there. This is one of the events I've organized on Jan 26th. It's a sports day for the school, Evershine High School. This is where I'm organized. And I'm in talks of a 2nd and 3rd event. It's a 18th birthday party and a 75th birthday party. It's going to happen on Feb 20th and Feb 15th.
It's niche, and you'll have to probably replicate 5 more of you to be able to do something on scale, right?
So like I mentioned, I'll be having interns, and a lot of my friends have volunteered to help out with this, and my parents also volunteered to help out with financing and establishing a relationship with the vendors and stuff like that. They've also offered to help.
I'm just more curious why this idea and how the genesis.
So why I started the company? So I've always had an interest in event management. Like if you ask my friends, I've always been that micromanager that likes to plan surprise parties for their friends. And when I realized I don't have anyone to plan my own party, I thought I'd start this company. And then in my school, we had a music fest last year that I organized. And I realized that I'm actually quite good at it. So I thought I'd start a company and actually make some money of it.
Learnings from the couple of events that you've done, the one sports day, what are a couple of things where you saw challenges which you feel that later on you'll have to make sure that those things don't come up, or how you overcome them in the future?
So one of the biggest challenges was maintaining a relationship with the vendors and getting the materials for a cheaper price, because since I'm a new company and I'm basically a kid, not many people would trust me with their events. But now that I have experience, and the vendors, like the difficulty faced with the vendors were to convince them that I'd come back to them and that I wouldn't just go to the next person. So that was one of the difficulties.
Great, thanks.
Last idea of our day. How many of us here have had But prior to the Kindle, how many of us here had an issue with reading a book at night? Right? Now the Kindle did come about, but it came about at a very big cost for most of India. So Indrail is actually going to talk to us about that market.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Indrail and I'm pleased to introduce you to Fruor. So, welcome to Fruor, where you enjoy every moment of your book. Now, Fruor is a Latin word that means enjoy, which is truly what we believe in. So, a problem we face, as Dheeraj had stated, as Dheeraj had asked all of you, have you ever tried reading in the dark? Most of us have. Have you ever come across a book that has very fine print?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. So when one reads a book that has very fine print, or when one attempts to read a book in the dark, you are more prone to having your eyes being strained. How are we going to prevent such cases of strained eyes? Enter Fruor. So essentially what is Fruor? Fruor is a product that provides ample lighting in one's reading environment and enlarges the text of a book which is placed underneath. As a company, we want individuals to unwind well and enjoy the art of reading and not see it as a task as most of us do. I mean, as teenagers, we have distractions such as social media and we procrastinate a lot. Yes or no? Yes or no? So we don't want people to see it as a task. I mean, Miss Bridges' class does seem like a task, but this is that way. We also want to build the best product for our readers that causes no harm or strain to their eyes. So essentially, how does this product work? I will be showing you images of how the product works. So there are two parts to it, the lighting and the magnification. So the product optimizes LED lights which use a battery pack to gain power. These lights provide ample lighting in one's reading environment. And also there's a magnifier. There's a plastic screen on top which is washed with a concentrated solution. This would be enlarging the text of the book that is placed on it. So as you can see, this is before and this is after. So as you can see, I've used glass because you really can't see what's here. And then you have white pen which shows that there's light and yeah. So how do you use it? There are three simple steps. Place the book underneath the space given, turn on the LED lights and read. So this is essentially a horizontal of how this product would be working. So there are LED lights almost everywhere and they provide ample lighting. There's a plastic screen on top and then you have your book which is placed on it. So our target customer is actually anyone who can read. This is a market that has not been explored at all. Now our competition, there are mobile screen expanders and then there's the Kindle. For mobile screen expanders, they have created a niche for themselves. They mainly target to, create products for mobile. And there's also, how many of you guys have seen on social media there's this product that enlarges the size of anything that you can see. It's on Facebook and it's on Instagram. Now the problem is that they all have this platform that you have to keep it on. You have to place it on a desk or maybe it has to be on a horizontal surface. With our product, you still have the paperback feel of a book and it can be a multi-purpose thing as well. With the Kindle, you have to pay 5,000 rupees and then secondly you need to add the cost of the books that you're going to buy and then you're going to read the soft copy of the books. So, and you have to fill in your credit card information and this and that. So really, why not invest in something that's 5 times cheaper? So why is this amazing? Lighting, magnification, and then you have Fruor. You don't have straight eyes. You can unwind comfortably with a masterpiece in front of you. And third of all, you don't need to uncomfortably hold a torch while you're reading a book or a magnifying glass. So I just give that time. So our marketing. With over 2 billion people accessing social media every day, we can reach so many people, creating a lot of brand awareness. Secondly, we can use bookstores and libraries to promote our product. And thirdly, we can use the help of influencers as word of mouth is trusted more. So the cost of supplies is there, and the cost of production is 812.265 rupees with the inclusion of tax at 80%. The unit economics, I will be planning to sell my product for 1,250 rupees, and the net profit is 437.735 rupees. So the utilization of the investment. So to create 1,000 units, the cost of production is 812,256 rupees. The rent for the storage unit or warehouse is 180,000 rupees. The amount of marketing, I'm dedicating 100,000 rupees. For a generic website, I dedicate 5,000 rupees. The amount for registration and patenting is 150,000 rupees. And I'm sorry, I just forgot to put that there. Amount for selling on Amazon and Flipkart, and their delivery charges would be 50,000 rupees annually. We will operate from Bangalore and we ship worldwide. Thank you.
Yeah, where's the prototype?
I'm sorry, so essentially I had ordered a backpack that had not come, and I had created a cardboard prototype instead of using plastic because you need a mold for it. So essentially my backpack did not come in time for the investment. I'm really sorry for the
So do you have you, other than friends and family, have you tried reaching out to people and asking, is this a real problem? Do people, let's say there are 10 people who read every day, and do 9 of them say that reading in the dark, or do they even read in the dark? Why not switch on the lights on the top?
I haven't gone across the sphere of my family.
Okay. My personal opinion is it's not as big as a market as you perhaps think, because as an ardent reader, I would do all my reading when I'm traveling. It's in the car, it's in the plane, it's wherever, right? I've never had an issue where, I need to read in the dark. It's never come across, never. So I'm just trying to wonder, where is the use case for this?
Essentially, it's not only the dark, it's also you have the lighting environment around you. So let me give you a scenario. You're reading your book at home. Let's say it has very fine print and it's very dark. So you're obviously going to go turn on the light, and you only want a certain amount of light that's around you, right? So you're essentially paying the current charges for perhaps, let's say, your tube light operating.
Have you come across these little clips that you just clip onto your book, and that's all the light you need? So you just clip it onto the book and those pages, and that's the light there.
This is a two-in-one product. You have the magnification of the text, and you have the lighting as well. So that's a prototype.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a practical question. So you place this on the book, you have to turn the page, what do? You have to pick it up.
So, let's take this and imagine. So this is the sheet. This is your sheet. Where will the LED light come?
Okay, so let's say this is a sheet. You're trying to magnify this. Okay. I'm going to use this desk as an example. So you're going to place this underneath. Let's imagine that there's a transparent screen on top. There's LED lights across the side. Let me just show you the slide. Okay, so essentially you have this casing that's here. You place your book underneath. There's ample space given, so you can just turn your page this way.
So how big is this case?
So this case, I'm assuming, it has to be bigger than A4 because certainly there are books that are bigger than A4 sizes. So I'm assuming that there'll be at least a size, like an A3 or an A2 size. It will be an A3 or A2 size.
Us to the end of an interesting panel. Judges, our kids' plans and ideas may be raw, but what you can't deny is a passion with which they come. These are all problems that they face, problems that they're very keen to solve, and we're sure that your guidance has helped them tremendously. Also, please don't fear. You're not expected to fund anything. YEA has a corpus, and 5 out of these 14 ideas will be funded, and the winners will be announced on the graduation day, which is next weekend. So thank you very much, and I know one of our judges has to rush or he'll get in trouble, so quick group picture, please. It's a lovely memory for everybody.